Hey everyone, welcome back to Code with Jaume. Today we are diving into 8 PySpark filtering techniques every data scientist should know. Filtering is one of the most frequent operations you will use in PySpark, whether you are cleaning data, debugging ETL pipelines, or preparing datasets for modeling. And today I will walk you through 8 PySpark filtering techniques you should know, using a simple books dataset that you can easily reproduce in your Spark session. Let's get started. To follow this video and run all the examples in your Visual Studio Code, you need to install Java, the 11, 8 or 17 version, then to have installed Python, one of the latest version, and I need to the path and create a virtual environment where you will install with pip install the PySpark library. Once you have all this, we can start with the dataset setup and see all the PySpark filtering techniques. Before we jump into the filters, let's create a mini dataset of 10 books. As you can see here, we have 10 rows with 5 columns: title, author, genre, rating, and year. And this will be our playground for testing every filtering technique. The first filtering technique we'll see in PySpark is the basic equality filters. These are the simplest and most readable filters. So for example, in our books dataset, imagine we want to filter all the books that belong to the science genre. So let's start using the filter function, and here we have to specify our column. In this case is the genre, and we want to compare if they are from fiction genre, and we will output all the rows that belongs to the fiction genre. As you can see here, we are using the double equal symbol, and we are gonna see all the books that belongs to the genre fiction. And using the double equality sign is perfect when your conditions are clear and straightforward. Another way to filter these results would be to use the where function, where you specify as well the column. In this case, I'm using the F from PySpark functions, for example, and the year. And then if you want to print out all the books that belong to 1999, well, we can as well do that and print out the result. In PySpark we have many filtering functions: filter, where, isin, between, and here we are just seeing 2 of them. So here we have the result, and remember to use the double sign when your conditions are very clear and straightforward. Sometimes SQL expressions are just faster to write, especially for exploration, and they are more human readable. And as you can see here, we are just using again the filter function, and we are gonna pass an SQL expression. For example, imagine we want to retrieve all the books that belong to the programming genre and its rating is higher than 4.6. So here we pass the genre, should be programming. Here we use a single quote, and the rating column, we want it to be higher than 4.6. And let's print out the result. And as you can see here, the expression inside the filter is an SQL-like expression, and it's very human readable, and it's great when you use SQL for BigQuery, Snowflake, or Spark SQL. It's compact and readable. Imagine we want to filter multiple categories. The long clunky way will be to use filter with multiple OR conditions. Imagine from the books dataset, we want to retrieve all the books that belong to to the history and philosophy genre. Well, to do that, the long way, as you know, would be, for example, using concatenating or conditions, FN genre equal history, and or no the same. The genre in this case we want to be philosophy. Well, and if we print out the result, we will retrieve all the books, all these two first books from the books dataset, Sapiens and Homo Deus. And as you can see here is a clunky long way and it's not scalable. Imagine we want to retrieve also the science, the fiction, what we will have to do, concatenate multiple or condition. That's not professional, neither scalable. One way to improve and make this code more efficient is to use the isin function. In this case, what we have to do is also use the filter function, and inside we pass the general column to be in history and philosophy. So and if we print that, the result should be the same, and this is more scalable because we are just passing here the category we want to retrieve inside the isin function. If you want to filter time ranges, numeric segmentations, and thresholds, between is your best friend in PySpark. But let's explore first the beginner approach, the clunky, verbose ways to filter ranges without using the between built-in function. Imagine we want to retrieve all the books that belong to the 21st century. That means that the year ranges from 2000 until the current year we are, in this case 2025, and we have to add some parentheses here to separate and concatenate the and conditions. As you can see here is a little bit verbose, and if we print out this result, we will retrieve all the books that belong to the 21st century. And as you can see here, we are repeating code, it's error prone, and there's a concise, better way to filter ranges. In this case, is using the between function. So we start with the filter, and then inside we pass the column that we want to segment. In this case is the year, and it's self-explanatory. With the between function here we want to retrieve years from 2000 to 25 included, and the output should be the same. And as you can see here is human readable, it reads like plain English. So whenever you have to filter time ranges or numeric segmentations, don't hesitate to use the between function. Filtering null or missing values is a must in every data cleaning job. Here I modified the previous dataset to add some null values to explain you how can we retrieve the null values from a dataset in PySpark. So imagine we want to get all the rows from a huge dataset where the rating is null. Well, here we start as always with the filter or the where function, and we want to know if the column rating has some null values and which rows contain them. So using the isNull function lets us retrieve the ratings with null functions. In this case we will retrieve two rows. Exactly, we just retrieve two rows. You can here modify the column to be, for example, the genre or the year. And if you want to retrieve the rows that don't have any null values, you just use the is not null values. So remember, here we are just using the is null and the is not null values to filter and to identify missing values. Here we are just retrieving all the rows where rating is not null. When you want to handle messy text fields or inconsistent naming conventions, the like function is really useful. Imagine you want to retrieve all the books with a title that starts with the. So here we will have three of them. So instead of using messy complex code, we are just using the built-in like function. Imagine, so let's start with the filter. Here we pass the name of the column, in this case is title, and we want to know if it starts with the. In this case we are gonna use the like function, and here we have to use the percentage symbol. So we are saying here that the title starts with the, following with whatever it takes. And if we print the result, we are just retrieving these three books. And remember, like, here is really useful, and we can use the percentage if we want to retrieve if a particle, a substring, it is contained in the title. For example, Yun, to retrieve Dun, we'll get all the books with its title containing this substring. Then we also can, for example, retrieve with the like function all the books where the author is Orwell, and instead of manually typing correctly the lowercase and the uppercase letters, we can use for example the lower function in PySpark, which is this one. What we are lowering is the author column, and then we want to know if Orwell is inside our author name. And if we just print out this result, we will explore all the books that belong to Orwell author. In this case would be just one of them, as you can see here. Combining multiple conditions in PySpark, we use bitwise operators like and, or the negation. Remember, this is not Python, so we can use and or. I mean, this is not Pandas library. We are dealing with PySpark, which is a library to address huge datasets. So and or are not allowed in PySpark. So let's combine multiple conditions. Imagine we have this book dataset and we want to retrieve the books belonging to fiction genre and year higher than 2000. Well, then we take our dataset, we filter, and we combine two options, okay? And we separate it with the AND operator. The first option, which is enclosed into parentheses, otherwise PySpark will throw errors, is to get the genre column and assign it to fiction. And then the second condition that we want to satisfy is that the year is higher than 2000. So the column year should be higher than 2000. And if we print out this result, we will retrieve the rows associated with this fiction genre and the year belonging to the 21st century. Well, we just want have one row. For complex SQL queries, we can use directly native SQL syntax in PySpark. So the first step is to create or replace Temp View. We have the data frame and we call this function, the third one, and we assign a name for the SQL table. In this case, it makes sense to call it books. Now we can use Spark SQL to write an SQL query as if you were using, for example, MySQL or SQL-Like. We format it, and the power of this is that you can use SQL if you are more familiar with the syntax or you are just writing complex queries. It makes sense to write an SQL query in PySpark. So imagine here we want to get all the books ordered by genre, grouped by genre, and ordered by its rating. So we will use a window function, row number, that we will see in further videos, and it's really handy in this case because we will get all the books by genre and sorted by its rating, highest first. So here we will select the title, the genre, the rating, and we will create a window function, row number, and we have to pass over. We're going to partition by genre because we're going to get the rating sorted by genre, so we partition by genre, and then we order by rating, in this case descending, since we want highest ratings first, and we can call it ranking genre, from which table the books that we just created. So if we print out this result, we will get an SQL table directly from PySpark, which is really powerful. It's a thing you can use in PySpark. And here you see all the books partitioned by genre and sorted by its ranking, highest first.